Welcome everyone to the Ubora Townhall. I'm glad that you could join us here in Atlanta in person, and we have a lot of people on the phone around the world. Today we're here to put a spotlight on CARE's global performance and also to launch Ubora, the magazine. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Jeff Yapstick, and the rest of the Ubora team will introduce themselves.
Sarah Ralston, hi. Wanda Graham, hi. Sarah Arneson, hi.
And in today's town hall, we're going to focus on just some of the highlights of what we've learned through Ubora. And we're going to bring to life some stories from Ubora, the magazine. We'll be hearing from our colleagues offering advice and information on things that they've learned that will help us do our jobs better. And if we just look at what we'll be talking today, we'll give a brief overview on Ubora, then we'll talk about program quality, fundraising and expenses, emergency, gender equity and diversity, customer service. We'll have some time for question and answers, and then we'll pass out the magazine, and for those of us in Atlanta, we'll have pizza. We'll be sending the magazines out to people in offices around the world, but we're probably not going to be able to send the pizza. Before I get started, I want to make sure everyone at least knows the basics about Ubora. Who knows what Ubora means in Swahili?
Excellent.
That's right. It means excellent. And that's what we chose that as the name of CARE's performance management system, because we hope that it helps us achieve excellence in our work. This up here is the Ubora performance cycle. And it all starts with data collection. We get Ubora data from all over the world, from country offices, regional management units, and many units here in the U.S. This information comes in and is analyzed by subject matter experts, and then the Ubora team takes this information, we summarize it, synthesize it, look for themes, and bring out highlights that and share it with the rest of the organization. And we prepare reports that are used in review meetings. Many of you might be familiar with the mid-year performance review meeting that we have had the past 2 years. And in that meeting, the senior leadership team comes together, and using the Ubora reports as their base, they discuss areas CARE needs improvement in, and that becomes the base as advice for the executive management team to create CARE's annual operating plan priorities. And once the priorities are set, we use that for budgeting and planning for the next fiscal year. We're also starting to see this process repeated at country offices. Twice a year, country offices receive Ubora reports that consolidates all their data, and it compares it with averages for other countries in their region and for all Ubora COs. And I was just thinking about the other day how this went.
Yeah, that was fun actually. Yeah, my brother went there actually.
Really?
Hi everyone, how are you? I hope you all had a good weekend. Yeah, good weekend. Everyone, I'm gonna pull up a chair. All right, I know. So did everyone get a chance to look over the Ubora analysis report that I sent you?
Yeah.
Good, and was it interesting to read through?
Yeah, there were a lot of different things going on, new learning, so it was
Great. I think so too. I think it really told us a lot about what's going on right now at the country office, and I think it would be really worthwhile to spend a little bit of time talking about the findings and seeing if there's anything we want to follow up on. Mm-hmm. So was there anything as you were reading this report that really stood out to you?
Yeah, I guess the first thing that for me is I was looking through the HR turnover data, and it seems like our country office has had a lot higher staff turnover rate than others in our region. It'd be good to look in to see what happened.
That's a really good point. I noticed that as well, especially compared to the rest of our region. It was interesting to see that it was higher. So that I definitely think we should look into that. Anybody else notice anything?
Well, I noticed something really, really positive. Our emergency readiness rating has gone up significantly since last year, so I was definitely excited about that.
I agree. That was really exciting to see.
Yeah, I guess it's because that simulation exercise we did, it must have helped, I guess.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Wonderful to see the results of things like that we do. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I actually feel like I'm the buzzkill because I noticed one of the more negative things on our PQuad.
And what was that?
Well, you know, it seems like our partnership ratings across all three programs have gone significantly lower than I expected, and I think we need to pay a little bit more attention to that.
I agree. You know, partnership is really, it's a key part of our strategic plan. It's a key focus for our office, and I think that the ratings are lower than they should be, especially that's an area we really want to be strong in, and so I think that's something we should really analyze a bit further and perhaps follow up on.
Definitely.
Well, these are some really good suggestions that we should take the time to discuss and think a little bit more about and bring perhaps broader staff into the conversation. And I think that as we're about to do our AOP for next year, this will really help us decide what our plans are moving forward.
Definitely.
Great. Thank you all for your contribution.
So you can see as we use the Ubora data, we can start learning where country offices are doing well, and we can look behind the data and really start to use it and find out the secrets of country offices who are doing well and share that knowledge with the rest of the organization. And this town hall and the Ubora magazine is a step in that process. Now I want to turn it over to Sarah Ralston, who will be talking about program quality.
Hi, everyone. Hi.
Hello.
So this is one of the areas that Ubora helps analyze is program quality. And so this is just going to feature a little bit of what Ubora has drawn out from FY10. And I encourage you all to kind of look more in-depth on our website and at the stories in the magazine to find out more. So this is just a quick highlight. So one of the most important roles that Ubora has played across the organization is helping build a common understanding of the program approach. And the results are incredibly exciting. And in fact, the process of change is happening so rapidly that we can't quite keep track of all of the numbers. But this is as of August. 90 programs have been designed across CARE International, and 10 more were underway at that time. And 51 of those have fully developed theories of change. For those of you who don't speak program speak, theory of change is like a strategy for how they're going to achieve their goals over the life of the program. And this is a breakout by region of those 51. I would like to ask Jean-Michel, who is in the back, to come on up here. We're going to do a series of interviews to get a little bit more behind the data this morning. And I want to ask him a few questions about what these results are telling us. Take a seat. Play the video. Well, Jean-Michel. There's obviously a lot of progress being made with the program approach. What would you say were the key successes from FY10, which the program approach was one of our global priorities for FY10? So some of the key successes that you saw.
Yeah, I see two key successes. One is the scale. I think that compared to fiscal year 2009, many more country offices have really engaged with the program approach. You have shown the number of long-term programs that have been designed. But if you remember, in fiscal year 2009, most of the efforts were focused on a few learning labs, country offices. And in fiscal year 2010, you can see the expansion, the geographic expansion to a large number of country offices. The excitement of the staff is really increasing a lot, despite the fact that we did not allocate much resources to it. If you just looking at the number of PQuads, the PQuad is the Program Quality Assessment Tool.
Which we will talk about shortly.
150 PQuads have been filled in by country offices on a voluntary basis. That gives you a sense of the commitment of the country offices. More broadly, among the CI membership, you can see that UK is investing in that, and I will talk about that later on. Australia has really a strategy also to expand the program approach across their country offices. Care Netherlands committed also had basically asked for some training and capacity building on the program approach, meaning that all the CI membership is really involved in it. And the second item on the success is basically the sense that the program approach itself can lead country offices to be able to secure more resources for it. And as part of the Ubora report, 3 country offices, namely Ghana, Bangladesh, and Mali, reported that as a result of their program approach engagement, they have been able to raise much more funding, which is absolutely natural, because once you can approach donors with a long-term strategy that can provide, that can address poverty challenges at large scale, at the national level, of course you are listened to, and I think you have the chance to influence donors. They can make your strategy theirs, and they can support you in implementing it.
Great, thanks. One other key objective from FY10 was your programs, advancing progress with the signature programs. And I know that they played an important role in helping contribute to the program approach, and these are some of their goals for FY10, and as you can see, the results exceeded the goals. And Jean-Michel, if you could just tell a little bit about how you see the signature programs contributing to the program approach, the role they play in that.
I think the big change in fiscal year 2010 has been the approach that the signature programs teams have taken, in the sense that they have chosen to engage with a larger number of country offices. When you see 18, 19, 22, it's a large scope of country offices, and they truly invest in their time in defining, in helping the country offices define their long-term program strategies. And so I think the big change has been in the perception of the signature programs among the field practitioners. I think in the past, the signature programs it was a new concept. It was really seen as really a center-focused program. Some of them were perceived as standalone programs that could be replicated as such at country offices level. That perception has changed, and now we are really talking of signature programs being reflective of CARE's theory of change, which combined with a clear understanding of the local context can lead to generate strong, robust programs that have huge impact and scale, can reach scale. And I think as a result of that change of perception of the signature programs among the country offices, we could see also a bigger demand for support from the country offices.
Great, thanks. And then a final question. Much of the discussion about the program approach over the past few years has primarily been about what makes a program different from a project, or how can we measure and achieve impact more with the program approach. But I think increasingly we're hearing that program approach has implications for all parts of the organization. And in fact, country offices and regions are really emphasizing this. And as you can see this quote from the ARMU team in their Ubora analysis report from this past year, they really emphasize that this is something that's jointly owned, that it's not for program staff or for PQI. And I know that that was one objective from FY10 as part of the program approach objective, and it's carrying over into FY11. What would you say are some of the plans to help achieve this greater alignment of kind of function, structures, systems, and different areas of operation?